money on ads, but what do you, the voters, really respond to? Pollster Frank Luntz is with us from Los Angeles. Frank.
Well, Greta, 80% of the advertising that's on the air now in politics is negative. They're really trashing each other. And so I thought it would be appropriate this evening to show a couple of positive ads that are really doing well in the states that they're running in. Let's start with Colorado. A swing state, leans Republican, but the Democrats have won it in the last presidential election. One of the great Senate races, Michael Bennet won a very tough primary because he ran an overtly positive anti-Washington campaign, even though he's the incumbent. For dials, the higher the lines go, the more favorable the reaction. The red line represents independents who lean Republican. The green line are people who lean Democrat. Watch how high the lines climb with Michael Bennett's positive advertising.
In this Washington, they spend money they don't have.
In this Washington, families are looking for ways to get by.
Here, the special interests have too much power.
Here, people are looking for someone to stand up for them.
This Washington is broken.
This Washington is looking to get to work. I'm Michael Bennet, and I approve this message because I know what Colorado families are going through, and I know things need to change.
This is one of those cases where both Republicans and Democrats agree that there's the Washington that they don't like. It's this wave that we see happening that you've talked about so often on your show. One of the most effective positive ads because Michael Bennet puts himself on the side of being a challenger, even though he's the incumbent. Now, we've got a similar situation in New Mexico. An incumbent Democratic governor is stepping aside after 2 terms. Susana Martinez decided that she would run a positive campaign rather than negative, and she's focusing on education. Watch how well both Republicans and Democrats respond to this message.
Richardson Denish failed our schools. We're 49th in education, and nearly 40% drop out. Diane Denish wants more time. We need change now.
I'll take money out of the bureaucracy and spend it here in the classroom, where it can make the most difference. But money alone isn't the answer. We have to end the culture of low expectations. Stop accepting failure.
Susana Martinez will end social promotion. No more sending kids to the next grade without the basics.
With bold reforms, we can bring real change to New Mexico.
So she talks an education agenda that the parents of New Mexico support. Doesn't matter whether you're Republican or Democrat. You want changes to education, and you want the message that she's communicating.
Frank, you said 80% of the ads being run now are negative because they're effective. What's wrong with us that we seem to be, the negative ads are the ones that really sort of connect with us and have an impact on us?
Well, we deny that we respond to negative advertising. We will assert, and I have this issue when I do all these focus groups, that they will say, oh, I don't listen to the negative ads, but in fact they actually do. They respond to the negative because they assume the worst about people. Greta, the problem is we're so angry, so cynical, and so distrustful, and in some ways we got a right to be, that we only respond to those who keep feeding this negativity. And I'll tell you, a positive ad, a really good positive ad, is exactly what the American people want right now, but it's not what they're getting from their politics today.
Well, there's no, I mean, like if someone runs a bunch of negative ads and then gets voted into office, I mean, there's no sort of punishment or response to the person, so they're going to always run them. I mean, and if we seem to have an appetite for them, and it's, all we do is put this on, that's all that's put out there, it's sort of hard to understand how we're going to get the country really sort of all excited and interested and spending money and changing the economy and everything if all we keep doing is rotten things to each other.
But remember, Barack Obama ran one of the most positive campaigns of the last 20 years. His campaign was all about change and hope, and the ads were very positive themselves. And look, he actually ended up not delivering what he promised. And so the American people, they look at the positive from Obama and they say, he lied to us. They look at the negative from both political parties and they say that they want change. 3 words they want, Greta: accountability from Washington, respect from Wall Street, and measurable results from the institutions that govern us.
All right, money, big. I mean, these ads are so effective. I guess it makes a big difference which campaign has a big fat war chest and which one doesn't as we wind into November.
And one of the things that we've been doing is we've been trying to show on your show the examples of advertising that isn't expensive to do, but is going to be very effective. Now, I'll tell you, one last thing here. Democrats are going to spend probably twice as much money on political ads than the Republicans, and they're going to attack even more because they can't defend what's happening in Washington. The question is, will the news media hold them accountable for their promises? Will they hold Reid and Pelosi and the president responsible for what they said was going to happen?
Except that we accept the money for these ads while we criticize them. I mean, there's a little bit of that. I mean, it's like, we mean hold them accountable. They help, they help pay our bills.
And the truth is that the American people sometimes, they want to vote for the person that promises them the moon, and what they really should be doing is voting for accountability. And one last thing, if you, who's watching right now, want to participate in one of these Fox News focus groups, if you want to dial and react to these ads, all you have to do is come to theworddoctors.com. Just go to theworddoctors.com. You can sign up, and you too can be responding to these ads that we're going to be seeing between now and the 2nd of November.
Frank, thank you. Coming up, we have the very latest. The Fox News team